The story of the Saffron Farm. On the second night, Bahram returned from hunting to the old farmer's house, and the hunted deer were grilled, and the minstrels brought joy and happiness to the gathering. The old man invited Bahram to a gazebo in his saffron farm, and served him saffron-flavored ice cream. Bahram was delighted after enjoying the delicious saffron treat, and expressed his desire to hear a sweet story. As the crescent moon appeared next to the Pleiades, it was the turn of the old man's second daughter, Arnavaz, to begin her tale. Arnavaz started her story by wishing the king well-being. She narrated the tale of a renowned goldsmith from the Khorasan province, whose craftsmanship was known far and wide, reaching Rome and Iraq. Everyone admired his skill in working with gold and silver. One day, showcasing his talent, he created a statue of a 100-mourned elephant adorned with intricate engravings. He presented this masterpiece to the king's officials, who then brought it to the ruler's attention. Upon seeing the stunning statue, the king was impressed by the artistry and craftsmanship. He immediately ordered 1,000 mourns of pure gold to be given to the goldsmith, and tasked him with creating a golden elephant statue. The king was confident in the goldsmith's abilities, knowing that he had already crafted an elephant statue with such finesse. 1,000 mourns of gold were delivered to the artist's workshop, ready for him to begin his next masterpiece. He poured the gold into the furnace to melt it. The man worked tirelessly, blowing into the furnace day and night until the gold was melted. After a month of hard work, he crafted an elephant statue that amazed everyone who saw it, as it looked so lifelike. He proudly presented his unique masterpiece to the king, who was astonished by its beauty. As a reward, the king gave him 4 mourns of pure gold. People from all over came to see the golden elephant statue, and everyone who beheld its beauty was amazed. The fame of the statue spread far and wide, with many admiring it and some secretly envying it. Eventually, a jealous goldsmith decided to investigate the weight and quality of the statue. He studied the statue for days, calculating its weight and dimensions. After his analysis, he concluded that the golden elephant was made using less than 1,000 golden mourns, which the king had provided to the sculptor. The goldsmith pondered how to prove that the sculptor had stolen some of the gold. The king would refuse to melt the statue for a detailed weight check, and there was no scale available to weigh the massive statue piece by piece. The goldsmith worried that if he remained silent, some gold might have been stolen from the royal treasury. He finally concluded that he needed to learn the sculptor's secret and technique. He thought to himself, "It would be beneficial for my wife to become friends with the sculptor's wife, so that I can uncover this man's skill." He instructed his wife, "Go and befriend the sculptor's wife. Tell her that your husband created an elephant sculpture that has amazed all the envious and critics. No other statue can compare under this vast indigo sky." While the statue reflects the artist's talent, the most astonishing aspect is the weight of the elephant. No scale can accommodate the elephant's size. Inquire if there is a way to determine the weight of this elephant. If we can solve this mystery, everyone will acknowledge your husband's brilliance. The clever woman understood her husband's wish and decided to befriend the sculptor's wife. She prepared a gift and engaged in socializing with the sculptor's wife, discussing various topics. Eventually, the conversation turned to an elephant statue. The woman remarked, "If we could measure the weight of this elephant, we would truly appreciate the grandeur of this statue and the knowledge and skill of your husband." With this persuasive statement, she enticed the sculptor's wife to uncover the secret behind the statue's weight. That night, the sculptor returned home from the workshop, and his wife placed a colorful meal in front of him. They talked and laughed together. The wife had prepared everything for an important question. Finally, she said to her husband, "You are the pinnacle of art, and philosophers should learn from you. Your legend has reached the entire world, and everyone acknowledges that your knowledge is vast like an endless ocean. This golden elephant is just a manifestation of your magic. Continuing, the wife added, "Everything about this golden elephant statue is truly exquisite. There is only one aspect that puzzles me, and I would like some clarification." The man replied, "Ask away, even though I keep many secrets from others, I cannot hide anything from you." The woman inquired, "All the stages of creating this elephant display the artist's skill, but weighing this golden elephant seems quite implausible. How do you accurately weigh this elephant?" She expressed her curiosity about the weight measurement secret to enhance her happiness. The man responded, "Indeed, I am an artist with secrets that should not be disclosed to anyone. The more artistic one is, the more adversaries they attract." The woman acknowledged the reality of having few friends and many foes in the world and advised him to safeguard his secrets until the end of his life. The man explained, "You are my confidant, but women struggle to keep secrets. They possess wisdom but lack the art of concealment." The woman pleaded, "I have always been entrusted with your secrets, whether in joy or sorrow. Am I not deserving of knowing this secret?" The man cautioned, "Not all secrets can be shared. Revealing the technique for measuring this weight would be akin to signing my own death warrant." The woman persisted, and the man, who was enamored with his wife, finally relented. He said, "If you truly wish to learn this secret, you must swear to keep it to yourself." The woman solemnly promised to never disclose the secret. The man then explained the method. To determine the weight, we must place an elephant on the ship and submerge it in deep water until the ship's body sinks to a certain point. We then remove the elephant and add weighted stones to the ship until it reaches the same mark. By totaling the weight of the stones, we can calculate the elephant's weight. The woman, grasping the concept, bit her hand in astonishment and praised her husband. They ended the night with laughter and joy. The following morning, the cunning woman returned to the craftsman's house and started flattering the sculptor's wife once more. Her flattery was so effective that the sculptor's wife eventually believed in the sincerity of their friendship and confided in her, sharing all her secrets except for the one about measuring the weight of the elephant. However, the cunning woman was adept at her craft, and through a myriad of spells and charms, she managed to extract the secret from the woman. She then went to her conniving husband and disclosed the mystery of the elephant's weight. The scheming man decided to make life difficult for the sculptor. He went to the king and claimed that out of the 1,000 morns of gold given to the sculptor, some was stolen, and not all of it was used in making the elephant statue. The king responded, saying, "You don't know how many people were busy weighing the gold while making the elephant." However, the seditious man insisted on weighing the elephant to determine the truth. He proposed, "Let us weigh the elephant. If it was truly 1,000 morns of gold, then kill me. But if it was less, collect the stolen gold from the sculptor." The king explained that they couldn't take apart the beautiful elephant statue to weigh it. The scheming man then suggested a method to weigh the elephant without causing any harm. His logical approach was well received by everyone who heard it. The king's agents swiftly transported the elephant statue to the riverside and summoned the sculptor to the location. They marked the spot where the ship had sunk, retrieved the elephant statue, and placed weighted stones on the ship. They discovered that the statue weighed less than 1,000 morns of gold. The sculptor was handcuffed and brought before the king for questioning. The sculptor explained that the payment for his work was inadequate, so he had reduced the weight of the statue by up to 100 morns of gold. He also revealed that he was seeking someone who could accurately weigh the large elephant statue, promising a reward of 100 gold to that person. The sculptor admitted his wrongdoing and was willing to accept any punishment. The king instructed the agents to visit the sculptor's house and retrieve 100 morns of gold from him to return to the treasury and document the transaction. The agents promptly went to the sculptor's house and found the 100 morns of gold intact, without any loss. They recorded the collection and reported it back to the king. Subsequently, the king ordered for the sculptor to be punished. A funnel-shaped tower stood at a distance of 1 league from the city. The tower was wide at the bottom but narrow at the top, making it impossible to reach the top with a lasso or ladder. Anyone sent into the tower would eventually succumb to starvation and perish. The sculptor was confined in the tower, and all openings except for the top were sealed shut. The sculptor sat beneath the skylight, his heart heavy with pain as he pondered his fate and regretted his choices. Suddenly, he heard footsteps approaching the tower, and to his surprise, it was his ignorant wife. She wailed and wept, clutching her face and tugging at her hair. The man, resigned to his circumstances, remarked, "This is my destiny, what good does your lamentation do?" He blamed her ignorance for his current misery. However, a realization dawned on him that she held the key to his salvation. Instructing his wife, he said, "Instead of weeping, go to the city and purchase a silk thread, powdered sugar, and some rope." The woman knew that her intelligent husband would not make her act in vain. So, she went to the market, bought the items, and brought them to the bottom of the tower. The man instructed his wife to dip the end of the silk thread in powdered sugar, making it sweet. The ants quickly rushed to take the sweet thread to their nest in the tower. Gradually, the sweet thread reached the bottom of the tower with the help of the ants. The man then told his wife to tie one end of the rope to the end of the silk thread, and the other end to a thick tree, or a heavy rock. Once the thread was connected to the rope, the sculptor pulled the silk thread until it reached the end of the rope. Slowly, he climbed the wall with the help of the rope, reaching the top of the tower. Finally, he descended to the foot of the tower, and the husband and wife ran away from there. After a few days, the king's agents went to the tower to check if the sculptor was alive or dead. To their surprise, they discovered that the sculptor had managed to escape from the tower. They promptly informed the king, who then ordered a thorough search to locate the sculptor and his wife. The agents scoured the mountains, plains, city, and market in their quest. Realizing that he could not evade capture indefinitely, the sculptor decided to surrender himself to the king. He confessed how he had escaped from the tower and expressed deep remorse for his wrongdoing. The king was surprised by the sculptor's skill in escaping from the tower. He asked him, "Why did you betray and steal from the treasury?" The sculptor replied, "I hope the king's enemies will vanish and be defeated. I possess numerous talents and skills in various crafts, but my greed led me to commit this betrayal. I am ready for punishment." The king realized that despite the sculptor's flaws, he had many talents. He decided to forgive him and offered him a position at the court to utilize his skills. The king believed that every artist should have the opportunity to pursue their dreams. As the story concluded, Arnawaz prayed for the presence of skilled and artistic individuals by the king's side to ensure the happiness and prosperity of the land and its people. Bahram admired Arnawaz's wisdom and praised the old man for having such a talented daughter.